Roof tenting around the incredible Scottish Highlands. I've spent 7 days travelling across Scotland, taking in some of the amazing autumn scenery. After a long drive, I'm starting in Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park on a bright Sunday afternoon. Right now I am on Loch Katrine in Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park on my little bright blue paddleboard. Didn't think I was going to be getting this out again this year. I mean, it's getting towards the end of October now, so you wouldn't expect it, but yeah. Parked up, I just thought, you know what, on a day like this, can't really say no. There's barely anybody around me, a couple of people walking along the outskirts of the loch. Nobody on it at the moment apart from me, which is quite nice. I can't believe just how quiet it is out here. There's just no wind or anything. It's just like birds in the background and that is it. And the odd person talking from somewhere around the edge of the lake. I'm very much inclined to think this is the definition of peace and tranquility to some extent. I just thought I'd come down here and catch the last few minutes of daylight. It is stunning here, just so beautiful. I did take a dip in the lake earlier and it was absolutely freezing, but to be fair, I don't really know what else you'd expect for this time of year. It is very bitter. I should have brought some gloves with me. Would you like my Udi, by the way? You may have seen it in the Big Festival video last year. Anyway, plan for today. I'll go and have a walk around this lovely forest park that I'm in, and maybe a bit more of the general Loch Lomond and the Trossachs, whatever the Trossachs is, I don't actually know. And then head up to Fort William tonight, and maybe, weather depending, climb Ben Nevis tomorrow. I've only been here a day and already this is like one of the most scenic drives I've ever been on. It's a bit windy and it's a bit cold, very cold, but I did have to stop here for this view. I feel like they put this little parking spot here specifically for this reason, so couldn't really say no. I feel like I'll see a lot more of this as I drive up into the Highlands. Just everything is on a spectacular level. Seems like quite a good time of year to come in the autumn. Get all the nice colours from all the trees. It is colder and you have to be a bit more careful with the weather, I guess, but no, this seems to be quite nice right now. It was quite cold last night in the TentBox, and I have opted for my big winter jacket today, so yes, temperatures are definitely dropping. It's so quiet, there's barely anybody around. There are people around, obviously, but hardly any. I'm just walking around Loch Katrine, very scenic. I'm wondering if this was actually one of the filming locations for Harry Potter. That island over there behind me kind of looks like the island where Dumbledore's tomb was, so I might look that up when I can. The drive up north from the Trossachs through to Fort William was one of my favourite sections of road on the whole trip. Easy driving combined with incredible scenery. Lamb chops and eggs tonight. Ow. Hot. I am bracing for another cold night. It's not too bad at the moment actually. Not windy at all or anything, which is good. But it did get pretty cold last night, and I've only come further north, so I can only assume the worst. Hopefully it'll be nice-ish tomorrow for Ben Nevis, because I don't really want to get to the top and get caught up in some sort of rainstorm, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So far it's been pretty good weather-wise, so I've been pretty lucky. Right, I'm going to go watch Netflix in my tent for a bit. I'll see you in the morning. Today is the day, final of the 3 peaks. 1,400 odd metres, I think. Something like that. Pretty excited. There's literally like a 5-year-old kid ahead of me. I mean, if she does this as well, then fair enough. My achievements are clearly 20 years too late. Seems like a pretty good day for it, relatively mild and, well, it's cloudy but clear in the sense of you can see quite far. Yes, as you can see, I'm not currently wearing my jacket. I imagine it will get a bit colder as we go up though. Start time for me of 10 AM. I think it's a 3 to 4 hour ascent time. Snowdon took me 3 hours, so yeah, I'd guess 3.5 to 4 for this one. I've had to sacrifice 15 meters or so to refill my water bottle, but water is kind of essential. I've got a nice clear view of where I'm heading now. You can see the zigzag part of the path that you take just before you approach the summit. I'm not going to say it's just before the summit because I don't think it is. Annoyingly, there's probably a lot more there than what I can see from here. These views are getting better and better as we head on up higher. Got a nice lake behind me. You can see more further on. The Loch, I don't know the name of it. The big one going into Fort William. You can see that just in the distance. Stunning, honestly. Path is starting to disintegrate now, which is always fun. Just look at it, all behind me, absolutely stunning. I'm glad it's clear enough at this height to see it. I'm getting very tired now though, but the end may be near. I don't know how close the end is. I can still see a reasonable way up. Heading up into the clouds now. I think this view is going to start to slowly disappear. It is drizzling just a little bit. This is a grueling and torturous climb. Worst part, I don't even know if I'm even near the top yet. This is becoming very, very difficult at this point. Very rocky path all the way on now by the looks of it. I think it's just the pure length of the route takes its toll on you. On the bright side, the clouds have lowered slightly, so I can see Fort William from here. I continued my ascent up into the clouds, and now all I could see around me were rocks and ice and snow. It was hard to gauge just how far away I was from the top at any one point. I am seriously going to enjoy my bacon and egg sandwich when I get to the top of this thing. Probably about 100, 200 metres away. Oh, I'll tell you what, this last bit up this kind of top end rocky section is torturous. But soon enough, the old abandoned buildings slowly came into view and the end was nearly in sight. Highest person in the United Kingdom, with the exception of aerospace. Can't see much though. And now I will chill in this lovely rotten abandoned house, or whatever it is, and eat my sandwich. The increase in difficulty was not proportionate to the increase in height. This was far, far more difficult than Mount Snowdon the other week, and I think it's only about a 200 metre height difference. Of course, height is not everything when it comes to difficulty, but it is a big factor. Well, at least I got nice views on one of my 3 mountain summits this year. Nothing good on here or Scarfell Pike, but I did get some good shots of Snowdon, so at least I got one. I'm sure the views up here on a clear day would be incredible, but today is not that day. Took me just under 4 hours in the end, top to bottom, no, bottom to top. It is now, what time is it? 2:15, so I'll see how long it takes me to get back down. Hopefully, because I've remembered to wear my knee pads this time, or my knee support, it won't be as difficult, or certainly not as painful as it usually is for me. I will see you back below the cloud layer, because as you can see, there's not a lot to actually see up here at the moment. and the sun has just decided to make its first proper appearance of the day. At long last, dry off my incredibly wet hair. That was hard work, and I think I must now go and cure my tiredness with a visit to the pub. That is the only thing that will work to soothe my aching legs. 5:15, 3 hours down in total, just over 7 hours up and down. Morning everyone, I'm off to go and see Glenfinnan Viaduct, also known as the Harry Potter Bridge. So right now I am on the Isle of Skye. It's a nice, reasonably sunny morning. Drove across last night from Fort William. The main road going into Skye has got a partial night closure on it, so they're doing resurfacing work, but because it's literally the only road to get to sort of the middle and upper areas of Skye, they can't close it completely, so they open it up once every hour to let the traffic through both ways. But unfortunately I just got there, I guess, on the tail end of the previous time slot to go through, so I ended up having to wait there for nearly an hour. So I nearly turned around, but I thought, well, if I do turn around I haven't got anywhere in mind to go yet, so might as well just wait. Driving around the island last night, it was dark but the moon was out, so you could see all the vast outlines of all the mountains in the distance, which was quite cool. I think part of the enjoyment here in Scotland is driving around and seeing all the scenery there is. Obviously, being the end of October, daylight hours are diminishing slowly, so by about 6 o'clock it's pitch black. So I'm going to try and set off a bit earlier, maybe mid-afternoon, so I can get to the upper Highlands but still enjoy all the scenery there is. So I'm off this morning to go and find the fairy pools, which are just like sort of waterfalls and streams, I guess. I don't know, I've not been there. I'm guessing they are at the bottom of this sort of ravine looking thing that you might be able to see running down the middle of this mountain behind me. I'm starting to feel it in my calves this morning as well from my Ben Nevis hike the other day, but not too bad, fortunately. And the knee supports have definitely worked this time. Not that they didn't ever not work, it's just I forgot to wear them. When I was driving back from Glenfinnan yesterday back into Fort William, I got my first kind of proper view of Ben Nevis from from like an outside perspective, if that makes sense, and it's quite something to see such a great mass slowly coming through the clouds, just towering over the town. Really gave you a sense of how big it is. The clarity of that water down there is exceptional. That's probably a lot deeper than it looks. I reckon that could be 4 or 5 meters deep, and I can see down to the bottom, no trouble at all. This is a really nice spot, this is. If it were the middle of summer I'd be tempted to go in, but that is not the case right now. I can see now why people would make all this effort to come all this way to the middle of the Isle of Skye to come and see fairy pools. It really is beautiful. I reckon this place must get pretty heaving in the summer. That's probably why there's such a big car park nearby, right in the middle of nowhere. Driving through all the Highlands, there's like an orange haze to the entire area from all the autumn colours. Some areas you get these really nice contrast looks of greens and your oranges, yellows and reds. And then other places as you drive along, even like all along the hillsides and all the forests within them, it's just like a real deep bright orange. Really, really nice. This is Loch Katrine. I think I might be on part of the North Coast 500 route somewhere around here. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if there's multiple routes for that, because I saw there's signs for like a north route and a south route. I don't know if they were different ones. So I thought the normal NC 500 was right at the very, very top, like the real kind of tip of head of Scotland, but I could be wrong. I would check, but no signal for once. Surprisingly, it's been pretty good for 4G around Scotland in general, but here is quite out in the sticks, so not the case. Tell me that is not the best spot I've found so far. It has been exceptionally windy for the past 12 hours or so. I did want to go out paddleboarding to those islands over there, but I think at this rate it would be more like surfing if I did go and try it. And I've never done surfing before, so I think I would fall in. Shame really, otherwise this really would have been the perfect spot. I'm going to carry on around the coast and yeah, just see where I end up really. No plan from this point. Just drive up until I decide that I have to start driving back down. I continued up north via Ullapool, taking part of the North Coast 500 route, simply enjoying the drive through the armada of lochs that scatter the northern Highlands. So I've just been driving around the North Coast 500 route today and just enjoying the scenery really, haven't really done much. Did go and explore an abandoned house actually for about half an hour, which was interesting, just a little spot I found on the side of the road. Other than that, just driving around all the roads, currently around the Summer Islands sort of area. So I've driven up north from Ullapool and I've kind of taken a bit of a detour route all around the coastal sort of path. Found me a nice spot next to this river. Hopefully, it is still a little bit windy, but I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit more sheltered than where I was yesterday, so it won't be quite as noisy, but we'll wait and see. I'm not usually the sort of person that drives just for the sake of driving, but today that's literally what I've wanted to do. Just driving around and enjoying all the views. It really is stunning around here. It's honestly next level. You get nice places in Wales and England of course, but Scotland it's just like amplified. The roads are perfect for that sort of just effortless road trip driving. I do kind of wish I had more time here because there's still a lot to see. I've just made a stop in Cairngorms National Park. I've just left the Highlands Nature Reserve. That was quite fun actually. A few things there I really wanted to see, snow leopards included. I love snow leopards. They're just like giant house cats, they're adorable. So yeah, I'm now in Scotland's second and largest, and I think actually the UK's largest national park. Got about 3 hours of daylight left, so I just thought, yeah, why not come for a walk and have a look round. I've just walked along and found this completely random box in the middle of the road, or on the side of the road. Nothing in it, not locked, but I cannot work out what that would be for. Very odd. Any ideas? Let me know. I can see all the thousands of rain droplets falling from the sky hitting the surface water, but no sound at all. No sound whatsoever. As is often the case, more time is definitely needed to see all that this stunning place has to offer, but even the short week I had was a welcome experience. To witness the incredible Highland scenery under that burning autumn glow was amazing, and putting the short days aside, it really is a great time of year to go and visit Scotland. The idea of a complete tour of the North Coast 500 route is certainly etched into my mind right now, and I don't expect it will be very long before me and the TentBox are back up here to continue and soak up everything that makes this country so beautiful.